We barely escaped Coruscant, Grease. Wish I had you by my side.
Yeah, me too. There'd be less to repair on the Manning.
You ever have any close calls like that?
Oh, yeah. I was out in the Ryloff system one time. Suddenly, I see 3 modified light corvettes on my tail. Oh, yeah, it was bad. Weakway pirates. I tried every evasive move in the book. Full throttle, I couldn't lose them.
So how'd you escape?
I managed to divert the power from the ship's climate control to its engines. It gave me the extra boost to shake those pirates off, and a new trick to push the Mantis whenever I needed it.
That's why the Mantis always gets colder at full speed.
A greasy secret. Don't you tell nobody.
I gotta say, Grease, a lot has changed, but you seem to be managing all right.
Better than all right. Oh, wait. You were talking about my arm, weren't you?
I wasn't, but it's a good arm. Where'd you get it?
I picked it up from a traveling junk dealer. She said it brought out the moke in my eyes. What do you think?
I can't say I've ever really noticed your eyes.
That's the point of the arm. Go ahead, take a look. They're enchanting, right?
So a cantina, huh? Didn't see that coming.
Why not? I'm a gregarious guy. I love a good party. I'm good with money. Okay, I'm decent with money.
Credit's well spent. It's nice to have a place to call your own. What's wrong, Grease?
I'm just thinking about the Bedlam Raiders. Pyloon's was meant to be a home away from home, but these raiders are ruining everything. Everyone's afraid, and there's nothing I can do about it.
At least people have a place to lie low.
Yeah, I suppose you have a point.
Besides, if the raiders come around again, I've got your back.
Thanks, kid. I appreciate that.
You ever get frustrated using that new arm?
Are you kidding? I love this thing. I can chop vegetables twice as fast, and I can't burn myself. Plus, it's great for self-defense.
You been getting into fights?
Well, no, but, I could. If someone tried anything, I'm ready. What do you know?
Something smells good.
That would be Great-Grandma Pyloon's potato namba patty.
How'd she learn to cook so well?
Oh, she had no choice. With 8 children, 36 grandchildren, and 2 lost cats, she was cooking for a small army.
I'm glad we can still enjoy her recipes.
Me too. Grandma Pyloon's cooking lives on. But the lost cats, not so much.
You've never told me where you're from, Bode.
Here and there. Spent a lot of my life on Buren. That's where Koboh was born. Ever been?
I haven't.
In a rim. Sleepy, but it suited us for a while. Until it didn't. Oh, don't sweat it, BD. You take the good with the bad, right? There were good times on Buren, too. Gotta remember those. Otherwise, how do you go on, you know?
When you were living on Buren, what'd you do for a living?
I was a teacher.
Really?
What? That's so surprising? I know a little about most things, and I'm patient with kids.
Yeah. I guess I can see it. Maybe you can set up a little school on Tanalor when all this is over.
Maybe. Any word from Saw Gerrera?
We don't hear much between jobs. He plays things close to the chest.
Keep an eye out for the Empire.
Hey, buddy. Hiya, Cal.
You and droids seem to get along, don't you?
Sure do. Always had trouble connecting with people. Droids are logical, easy to fix when broken. People are unpredictable.
No kidding. But once you find the right person, it gets easier.
Hope so. Well, aren't you a droid magnet?
You mean Z?
That her name? She's definitely not your typical droid. Sounds like she's got a screw loose. Who doesn't in this crazy galaxy? Cal, how do you do it?
What do you mean?
People just seem drawn to you.
Sure. But you may have noticed I tend to attract some pretty unsavory types.
Yeah, I guess so. There's some new faces around here. But somehow I still feel alone in the crowd.
I know what you mean.
You do?
Yeah. It's hard to find a true friend. Someone you have a real connection with.
Yeah. That sounds like what I'm missing.
This drink is terrible!
You wanted it shaken, champ. I suggested stirred.
Well, what do I know about drinks? Give me a spoon and I'll kill you 6 ways blindfolded before I stir some stupid moof juice with it. Maybe a little punch of hyperfuel to save this tragedy of a drink.
Monk, I must know what befell the Jedi Order.
Ah, right. The Order. That's quite the story, Z. On second thought, how's about I tell you all that after the oil bath?
Of course, if you think it's best. Is that oil bar ready yet, Monk?
Gonna be a minute, Z. It's a one-droid bar at the moment. Not that I'd trust Grease to make drinks. Well, he's a fine cook, sure, but he's got no taste for tonics.
Very well, I can wait. 200 years and counting.
If you need a hand, we're an oasis in the sand. And if you're dying of thirst, well, our drinks, they ain't the worst. And if you're running from a blaster, better run a little faster. Run to Pyloon Saloon, and we hope we see you soon.
Cal, how'd you and Grease meet?
I was working on Brock as a scrapper. Grease gave me a lift when I needed it most.
The way he tells the story, seems you gave him a lift, too.
That's so.
He never said the words exactly, but when I wanted to turn that back room of yours into storage, he threatened to replace me with a gonk-droid. People show their affection in strange ways, don't they?
Yeah, Monk. I guess they do. What happened with the Cantina's previous owner?
Like I said, blaster poisoning. He used to run a smuggling ring. Raiders took a cut, and one day, the owner shorted them. He crossed the wrong raider, and...
Is there a right raider?
Fair point. You catch on quick.
So you and Grease have any big dreams for this cantina?
Well, there's a stage collecting dust. Perhaps one day we'll hire some off-world bands. That'd sure help us stand out.
I'd say standing out isn't your problem.
Fair point. But just so you know, the band at my previous gig packed more heat than a Hutt's honor guard.
And until this raider situation is under control, let the music play on. What kind of clientele you get here?
One dusty prospector after another hoping to strike it rich on old tech or priorite. Sometimes I wonder why I bother. Anyone with real credits to spend leaves Koboh in a hurry. At least they're less likely to die in here than out there.
You should write that on the side of the saloon. What skills do you need to be a good bartender?
Oh, the usual. Multitasking, a good memory, the gift of the gab, not to mention the mixology itself. You see, the better the drinks, the happier the clientele, which means, of course, the more they talk. And the more they talk, the more I learn about what makes them tick.
Sounds a little...
Manipulative? I suppose. But I'm only picking up what they're freely putting down.
Ever pick up any good tips from bartending?
For starters, every client has a tell.
What's my tell?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a tell.
Fine. So what's your tell?
My incurable honesty.
Hey, Monk, where'd you and Grease meet?
I probably shouldn't say.
Gambling den?
That's right. I was tending bar for a sabacc game that Grease frequented. He was looking for a partner. I was looking for a change of venue. We got to talking, and before long, that was that.
Well, you could have found a safer place to make a credit.
I'd choose the Bedlam Raiders over my old line of work any day of the week.
Let's hope you don't have to make that choice. Monk mentioned you met in a sabacc den?
Oh, yeah, we did. Because I'm smart. See, those gangsters might be trouble, but they pay for top talent.
Is Monk that good?
Oh, yeah. In more ways than you can know. But don't dare tell him that. Besides, I ain't gambled since the Brute took you prisoner. Much.
Is Grease a good business partner?
Better than my former employers, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah?
Underworld types. You know the sort. I work the bar mostly. But some of my other, responsibilities back in the house. Let's just say when my restraining bolt malfunctioned, I moved on to greener pastures without a second thought.
If you're ever willing, I'd love to hear the whole story.
We'll see, Sport, we'll see. I'm the type to leave the past in the past.
You don't like to talk much about your past, do you, Monk?
No, I don't. Do you?
Not really. But if you don't open up to anyone, how can you make any friends?
Fair point, Cal. Let's just say, in my previous job, information was currency. And I know a few unsavory sorts who wouldn't mind cashing in.
Seems like you and Doma have some history.
That's right.
She took me in, showed me around, hid me, 'cause I was on the run, Cal.
On the run, huh? What'd you do?
The heist of the century. Every bounty hunter in the galaxy was after me.
You pulled off a heist?
Is that so hard to believe?
Well, yeah.
And that's how I pulled it off. No one thinks much of me around here, so they never see me coming. They never see me coming. And that's when I get them.
So you said you came here after a heist, huh?
That's right. I was once the most infamous outlaw in the Outer Rim.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They called me the Prince of Pilfering, the Mayor of Misdemeanors, the Sultan of Stealth.
If you're so notorious, how'd you get here undetected?
I snuck into a shipping crate and lived in a aforementioned crate for a long time. A very long time. When Doma unpacked me, she thought I was trash.
Good thing she didn't throw you out.
Oh, but she did. We still laugh about it. Say, Cal, would you like to buy my guide to Koboh?
Not really.
Good, because I haven't written it yet. But if you want to know something, I have all sorts of tips for Koboh visitors.
Like what?
Give information out for free? Come on, Cal. A frog's gotta make a living. So, how about some fighting tips, huh? I'm ready and willing to learn.
Well, what are your strengths?
Okay, let's see. I have no upper body strength.
Right?
I have no sense of direction. And I'm extremely impressionable. But I can run and jump real fast, real high.
You know what, Turgle? You could use that speed to stay out of trouble. I don't think fighting is for you.
You're probably right. Oh, Cal, thank you. You're always so insightful.
You know, you've got a core world air about you. It's becoming.
You from the Corps?
Guilty as charged. I studied the galactic economy with some of the greatest minds of Coruscant. Then watched those same minds ooze into obscurity while real opportunity whistled by.
Real opportunity?
Oh, you know, tax-free trade, extrajudicial imports, what have you.
Oh, you mean smuggling?
What I mean is that the galaxy is begging to fill your pockets if only you'll play its game. I know what you are, for what it's worth.
Do you now?
Sure. The way you carry yourself. That saber on your belt. I won't say anything, of course.
Why not? The bounty could be your ticket off-world.
And I've already told you enough about my past business to land me in an Imperial intake yard.
Guess I'll have to settle for honor among outlaws.
Look, I know what it's like to have a losing streak tied around your throat. And I respect anyone who keeps fighting even when the chips are down.
You're a hard man to read, Moran.
Then, as they say, I've still got it. Seeing these battle droids about takes one back, doesn't it?
Maybe a bit.
Oh, the Clone Wars. Those were the good years.
I've never heard anyone say that before, Moran.
Oh, sure. A separatist secession backed by tax-loathing free marketeers begins, just as I'm establishing a profitable extrajudicial shipping operation. They paired like wine and flatcakes.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Apologies, I'm being insensitive. You probably fought in the Clone Wars as a child soldier, right?
No, not exactly.
Well, I suppose it's all over now, one way or another.
So how did you end up on the wrong side of the law?
After my studies, I worked in the Republic Tax Collection Agency, investigating revenue disputes.
You were a tax collector? Sounds pretty legitimate so far.
Drearily legitimate. But it did introduce me to a steady procession of people desperate for things to shake out in their favor, so to speak.
And you helped them out, for a price.
Yes. But my fee was nothing compared to the price they paid at the hands of a corrupt system.
Whatever you say, Moran.
Do you ever miss the glory days, Cal? The cut and thrust, the rough and tumble.
It sounds like every day. Not that it's glorious.
Well, I certainly had some glorious years. I'm sure I never told you about the incident over at Munilinst.
Don't think you did.
I was personally escorting a shipment of let's call it a sensitive luxury product. Unfortunately, we were accosted by a customs longship. The fence had failed to update our transponder codes and our vessel was marked. Well, push comes to shove, and we were boarded. I've got 3 customs officers waving blasters under my nose, so what do? I throw on the waterworks. Oh, Cal, you cannot imagine. I'm swearing up and down about everything from past marriages to lower back pain. Almost work, too. But one pesky officer decided to kick open a shipping container full of the slightly incriminating powder.
Guess the jig was up.
Oh, Cal, you're looking at a professional. I told them that they were looking at the ashes of 1,000 ritually cremated Sereno war heroes. And by the stars, they bought it. The inspectors actually bought it. That, Cal, is why I'm here instead of rotting in a Munilinst work camp.
Moran, did you hear what happened?
I heard you nearly died. I was crestfallen.
It was harrowing. Really made me think about my life, you know? I don't want to die a washed-up no-clutch on the far edge of the galaxy. Wouldn't that be just dreadful?
I couldn't even begin to imagine. Nor will I try.
But now, I'm a frog reborn. That's surely worth buying me a drink to celebrate.
You never miss a chance, do you? You have a slimy sense for business opportunities, I'll give you that. But this one's a bust. Go see if someone else will fall for it.
I see you, Moran.
Excuse me?
I see, I hear, I listen. I taste.
What is happening here? Wait, no, Moran. Don't engage.
Heard you talking about trade shipments a while back. Were you a big shot business guy? Oh, did you blow it? Why else would you end up here?
That's... I suppose if you sniff around long enough, you're bound to eventually find dirt.
I was right? What's keeping the secret worth to you?
I don't think so, my desperate friend. But, to your credit, you have exceeded my expectations. Granted, they were breathtakingly low expectations, but nevertheless, let that be your reward.
Hey, Moran!
Oh, please, no.
You wouldn't turn down the opportunity of a lifetime, would you?
Stop it.
Because I have a business proposition that will make your eye stem spin.
Let me make this eminently clear. I have, in my time, struck deals with every flavor of unsavory scamp you can imagine.
Uh-huh.
I have funded ventures so risky they would make a hut skip breakfast.
Uh-huh.
But I would sooner feed my credits to a monkey lizard than go into business with the likes of you.
With a small one-time investment.
No!
Hey there, sport. Care for any refreshment?
I'm good, thanks.
Like to keep your head on a swivel in a new locale, eh? I can respect that.
Well, that pistol-packing Nautilin with the hat doesn't exactly scream relax.
No, she doesn't. But buying a beverage doesn't oblige you to drink it, you know. Might even help you blend in a little.
Fair enough. I'll, have a Mookie Sour then.
Very well, one Mookie Sour coming right up.
How'd you get mixed up with the Bedlam Raiders?
Well, I had a drink from Muck. Then another, then another, then another, then... Right. I stumbled outside and sort of confused one of the big raiders with a dewback.
Don't tell me you try to mount him.
Okay. But if I don't, that's the end of the story.
I can see why the Raiders try to kill you.
Oh, they've got plenty of reasons.
Say, Cal, what do you make of this place?
It's, little rough.
Diplomatically put.
What about you? You seem to spend a lot of time here.
What do I think? I'll lay it out for you. This place violates about 24 business fundamentals, giddily deploys false advertising practices, and is riddled with moles I daren't investigate. And yet, it serves drinks and doesn't close its doors when the Bedlam Raiders march into town. That's more than you can say for any other establishment on this rock.
How long you been on Koboh?
8 miserable years. Even deducting the ones Turgle has stolen from my life.
So you know something about this prospecting legend?
If I were you, I wouldn't buy into that nonsense. Not unless you want to end up like the rest of this colony of treasure-crazed head cases.
All right, then.
Discerning folk like us have no need for fairy tales. Come on now, you're a smart fellow. You should know better than to go chasing ghosts in hills.
You don't seem happy here. Why stick around?
Why, indeed. You know, a few short years ago, I thought Koboh wasn't such a bad place to lie low. That is, before our gelatinous friend here arrived. Yes, you.
What's stopping you from catching the next junk hauler off-world?
Well, sitting here beats dropping anchor on some other dustier rock, doesn't it? Better the devil you know, and so forth. Excuse me?
I think you like it here.
Oh, I'm warning you, Turgle.
All right, let's go. That's the gate Z told us about. Let's take this to Doma's. More priorite. Wonder what this will fetch at Doma's shop.
Newcomer. You heading to the cantina anytime soon?
Probably.
I dare you to put a restraining bolt on Monk.
Why would I do that?
Because he won't serve me anymore. Tab, schmab, I'll give him credits when I got credits.
He returns.
Glad you came to Koboh, Cal. You're a hard worker, aren't you? Always putting others before yourself.
How can you tell?
Smudge of dirt on your pants, a whiff of adrenaline. Your eyes dart for danger, alert. I call it hunter's eyes. To trap game, a hunter refines her ability to observe. But for the record,
Your friendly demeanor don't fool me one bit.
That right?
Oh, yeah. You're a natural hunter, and you damn well know it.
Who taught you to hunt, Mosey?
Well, I grew up in a large family. My siblings and I competed with one another. For attention, praise, food sometimes. Had to be the strongest to stand out.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, Mama was hardest on me. Always pointing out a mistake, criticizing my techniques.
That must have toughened you up.
It likely did, but I've come to resent it. Probably the reason why I flung myself here.
I barely knew my parents.
Yeah. Well, that ain't always a bad thing now, is it? Talk soon.
Gulu, Guido, what's going on?
Just bemoaning the sorry state of affairs in this place.
What did the raiders do this time?
No, not them. We were talking about how things ain't like the good old days.
When we started out here, life was grand.
Place was nearly empty.
Barely anyone to bother you.
Sounds like paradise.
Well, it's the way of the galaxy. The only constant is change, and everything gets worse with time.
Yeah, and there's always one Turgle everywhere you go.
A lot of raider activity these days. How you two holding up?
Us?
We're always
yeah,
fine.
we're fine. It's the others I worry about.
You do? That's kind of you.
Yeah, we worry that if they keep being such cowards, they'll be dead by tomorrow.
And then we'll have no one left to make fun of.
To be honest, that's really what gets us through the day.
Mocking Turgle's like drinking water.
And shaking our heads at that whiny slump Moran.
I'm starting to feel better already.
I guess some things never change.
And that's how we like it.
Have you two had any run-ins with the raiders?
They wouldn't dare.
And we don't do much running.
But I do hate what they've done to this outpost.
I hate how they're always rooting through our outpost scrap heaps.
I hate how they scream all the time.
You haven't had your beauty sleep in months.
Looking at you, you haven't had beauty sleep in the past 100 cycles.
Oh, what a helpful droid. You like that one. Come back anytime.
Well, hey there, traveler.
Hi there.
Don't mind the beast. She don't like strangers. The mountain don't neither. You be careful.
We'll try. Thanks.
Prospector's Folly, we call it. Pretty treacherous. Crawling with all kinds of dangers.
Sounds like our kind of place.
There's stuff beyond these crags that make your blood run cold.
Oh, we could tell you some stories.
Something blisters, what an almighty racket! Have your bells for feet? What's your name, lad? If I'm to hold a grudge, best to know the name.
I'm Cal. This is BD1.
My bantable mum dubbed me Scuba Stev. Scuba the Fisher, am I?
You know, there's a fish tank down in Pyloon Saloon that could use some attention.
Pyloon Saloon? That'll have an infested watering hole down in your valley.
All right. Yet I asked.
Ah, fine, twist my arm. I'll do it. Meet me at the saloon and we'll appraise this so-called tank. Ah, can you stay away? You're ready to sink the sea spray once it's misted your gums.
I guess not.
You're the aspect of a fisher, lad. And, lucky for you, we're perched just above the lair of the sea fish.
Sea fish, huh?
That's right. An impossible catch. No fisher in the right mind would pursue such a quarrelsome foe. No fisher, but Scuba Stev. You see that, lad?
That was pretty impressive.
You still think I'm small time, eh?
No, I believe
Well
you.
then, I've no choice but to regale you with my bleak-most history. Tarry a moment, and I'll tell you a thing or two about old Scuba Stev. So, you wish to prick up your ears and receive the tale of Scuba?
If you're sharing stories, we'll listen.
Then you be a fool, my lad. My sordid tale will bring you nothing but grief and woe.
Okay, well, if you're not sharing stories, we'll...
Oh, fine, I'll tell you. At your own insistence, and at your own peril. My story begins in a small village on the frozen banks of Sakavi Tar, my home world. Nights black as quillfish innards. Winters so cold, a stern look could turn you to glass.
Doesn't sound like the easiest place to grow up.
Difficult, aye. From the moment your mother's milk froze on your tongue to the moment you foundered upon frozen streets. You see, the fishes, they had the right of it. They dwelt far below the ice, where warm currents danced like ribbons in the wind. To fish so scarce a quarry, on account of the great fish famine, well, it's near a mild undertaking. But for all the belly-aching now, there's a peaceful enough life for a wee Sakavian with an instinct for the rod.
So you discovered your talent early.
Such a talent was I, that as a lad, me hardly spotted my first prickly chin hair, I was given an audience with Undan. But that'd be a tale for another time. Oh, and some advice, lad. If you're planning to scale the mountain, you'll need to keep a strong grip.
Careful. There's nothing to worry. Whoa! I got you, Shanna. Thanks.
All right. Let's look. I'll need to find a different way. Found another shard. Let's see what's up ahead, buddy. Okay, let's go.
Eyes up, trooper. Intruder. Do we open fire? Let's shoot him. Negative. This force field can withstand anything these locals throw at it. Authorized access only. Turn back, scum.
Just passing through, officer.
Nothing that ain't made of Durasteel is passing through this electron wall.
Weapons hot, sir. Let's shoot him before he gets ideas.
Negative. We've got our orders.
Sure you can't make an exception?
Smell that, scum? That's Imperial air you're breathing. So get back before I forget my orders and we see how tough you really are.
You will lower the shield. I already showed you my authorization.
You already showed me your authorization.
Sir?
TK-783 to base command. Lower the shield.
What?
Wait, what? The shield is down!
Blast him!
Better catch up. Good work, BD.
This won't be easy.
Think of the rewards, Shanna. Come on.
Okay.
Check it out, BD.
Why'd you ask me here? I don't like you and you don't like me.
That's right. But you annoy me a lot less than the others in this go-nowhere town. And I think you feel the same.
What are you saying? Out with it already.
I'm saying this is a date. And we're on it. And if you don't like it, too bad.
like seeds. Better hold on to them until I can find good soil.
Run a sweep. Should we shoot him? Okay.
Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Good job, BD. What's this? We can trade this at Doma's shop.
I am on them. Almost. Our victory cannot be stopped.
Glad you're excited.
I get it. They're weird things. I'd like to know what's in them, too. But we don't have that kind of time or resource. So no. And please stop asking.
Unstoppable as ever, BD. Good job.
Bad sound. Sampling this for sure. But it's missing something. There we go.
Something catch your eye? Look at that. Nice.
Tis only Carl. Forgive the short greeting, lad. I'm always on edge when fishing for the finger-lipped garpon.
What a name.
And fierce as they come. But that doesn't deter the poachers. The poor garpon, despite its rarity, is a delicacy for the black of heart and the rumbly of belly. In we go!
Be aware of hostile. Be ready for combat.
Ah, did you see that beauty? Two plump fins, a fine complement of glands, a scrumptious, varicose tongue.
Fishing on an empty stomach, Scuba?
I can't succumb to the passions of the stomach. The garpon must live. I'd better get me mind off it. Spin your tail. Where were we? Ah, yes. By virtue of my prodigious fishing talents, I was taken to see the mysterious one they call Gun. I can see it still. Wee Scuba, ushered into yon black-mouthed cave. I could barely make out the figure, glinting with moonlight. I scrubbed my eyes, like a old tar scrubbing the deck. And there she was, a vast creature. Great tentacles blooming from her blubber, like cables gorging on a fuel tank. One of the tentacles twitched into the air, just over my head, and then, wham! Right on the noggin, so I'm told. I staggered out the cave like a lover first acquainted with a deck. But something else happened. I think when that fell tentacle struck me, Undone took something straight out of my brain and put something else in.
She put something in your brain?
Aye, boy. The subtle art of catching a fish. The art of focus. And in the dark, with nothing but the bristles on your chin for company, that focus is special. From that day forward, when I plunged my line into the frigid waters, it would emerge with a fish. 3 times out of 7.
That's less than half.
My village told me that I'd be the one to save them from the great fish famine. Little did I know that the grapnel was soon to arrive on our shores.
Gonna assume that's a bad thing.
Perhaps, lad. And perhaps not. But that'll be a story for another time.
Seeds belong somewhere with fresh soil. This is strange.